Study hard, find a job, take a loan, buy a home, dress to impress. This is terrible advice. This is a never-ending loop, and you want to come out of this trap, right? So you need to write your own rules. You know when your salary hits your account and then it vanishes? Well, for most people, that's exactly how it happens, because salary isn't something to save and grow. It's something to spend. And that's exactly the problem. You're treating your salary like this endless waterfall of money coming into your account every single month, and then you spend it and then you earn it, and that itself is the endless loop. So here's what you've got to do. Sit down alone. Write down all your expenses, every single little bit. You know that center fresh, you know that party you did, you know when you went out with your friend, you know that little aloo bhujia you had, every single expense. Now that you have all of these expenses laid out, cut out the extras. I know you know what I'm talking about. You know that expense that you could have avoided. Ghar mein you have food, why are you ordering from outside? I'm not saying change your life, but cut out the extras. And then do the most dramatic, best thing you've ever done for yourself. Reduce your expenses by 1%. And what you deduct from your expense will basically go into your savings. It's pretty simple if you think about it. So imagine your expenses are what? 50,000 rupees a month, and 1% of that will be 500 rupees. So basically I'm asking you to skip one online food order. It's not that difficult. That 500 rupees is invested, let's say, in some form of index fund that makes, say, 10 to 12% CAGR, that's over a period of time. That money will actually start growing. Now, I know you might think that's not a lot of cash, but that's not the point. The point is the habit to begin is more important than the money itself. But I'll talk about that a little later. Focus on the expense tracker so that you can make this first step.
You think you're funny, do you?
But you know, all this money you can make from index funds and all is probably a lie. No one told you this. I'll be the first one to tell you. Investing is not as important as creating your own emergency fund. You see, all these people in the office working, buying a car, all of that, they don't have any savings, which means that if they lose their job, they won't last 1 month. Inke paas koi paise hi nahi hai. And no one really said this. We talk about SIPs and people investing and then making money. But dude, the first step you can do for yourself is not investing, is creating savings so that you can last at least 6 months without your job. Think about the real chains around you. It's the salary. The money is supposed to give you freedom, but you can't leave it because you don't have money. You realize what I'm saying? It's simple. First, find out what's your monthly expense. Let's say it's 30,000 rupees. 30,000 multiplied by 6 months. 6 threes are 18, 1.8 lakhs. This number should be in cash in your account, not easily accessible. This is your new superpower. It will reduce your fear because you have 6 months of backup. Your work will actually get better. But there's one more problem. That bad month could also be a health emergency. This is the chart of it's not nifty. It's health expenses. It's becoming really expensive to get sick in our country. So you must have health insurance. Most people don't become poor because they made less money. They become poor because one single event put them back 5 years. Think about it. Your productive years are from 20 all the way to 60. And if you lose 5 years, that's like almost 10% of your life. So basically, you need to make sure you have an emergency fund and a health insurance to make sure that you're actually safe. Hey, what are you doing? I'm shooting, yeah.
Following the crowd.
Following the crowd? Oh, actually that makes sense. Why do we buy things even if we can't afford it? It's not your fault at all. It's actually hardwired inside you. Think about it. When we went from hunters to gatherers, we had to survive in a tribe. And tribal acceptance was really important. It's how we survived. So the top guys in a tribe actually got the most resources. But how do you define who's on top? The person with the most strength, the person who had great amount of resources or special tools or alliances was the alpha. But now things are very different. You do social signaling with stuff, with the iPhone, with the car, with the house. You tell the tribe, hey, you should continue to be my friend because, well, I have all these things. So marketers are actually hacking into your hardwiring without you even knowing it. And you are actually following the crowd. You're buying all this stuff you don't really need. And the access to credit is so simple that you just have a lot of debt. So a simple way to get out of this is called the debt to income ratio. I have a calculator for you. This is the world's simplest calculator, but I promise you it will change your life. Open up the calculator. Its job is to tell you how many days are you actually working for that credit that you have taken. So you enter your income, you enter all of the EMIs you're paying, every single one of it, and the calculator will do the rest. It will tell you what percentage of your income is going towards EMIs. Remember, when you're paying an EMI, you don't own what you've bought. The bank or the credit card company owns it. You don't owe it yet. It also owns another precious asset, which is your time. All that hard work you're putting on that project at work, you're actually earning for someone else and not yourself. Anyway, the debt to income ratio, I read at a bunch of places and everyone said it should be below 36%. If it's above 36%, you're in the danger zone. If it's below 36%, you're in the safe zone. But you know what I think? I think this number 36% was chosen because it sounds really smart. It sounds 1/3 of your income, and 36 sounds like a scientific number. The truth is, no one really knows how much debt is too much debt. And I personally think it shouldn't be more than 20%. Why do you want to buy stuff more than 1/5 of your salary? But it's different for everyone, and you can choose what this number is. If you're scared to use this calculator, I think even before you input the numbers, you know that you probably have a little too much EMI. And this is the most important point. Actually, come closer. Enough. What you need to do is actually really simple, and you already know it. The magic is in actually doing it. 1, 2, 3. The moment you take the first step, you've changed your life in an instant.